Hello, everybody. We meet again. This is lecture 3 in the series of human resource management lectures, and we are now doing job analysis. We've already covered 2 lectures on the same topic, but with little difference that we started with the basics of job analysis in the first lecture. In the second lecture, we went on for the methods of job analysis, and this is the third one, which says job analysis, job description, and job specification. Right? How are you all doing? Great. Did you go through the first 2 lectures? Well, this is in continuation. If you've not yet gone through them, just go through them, and then it'll be easier for you to understand what I'm speaking about in this lecture. Okay, here we start. As I had discussed in the last lecture, we have some insights. These are the small templates to tell you what we have done in the second lecture, and which was stating job analysis, the methods of job analysis. Basically, that was step 3 of the process of job analysis, in which we basically collected the information, and for information collection, we used certain methods. Now, this is the third lecture on the series of job analysis amongst the lectures on human resource management. So here we start. This is step 4, and I told you that the man is really feeling happy that we have reached the destination, and we are completing the step 4 today. With this, we'll be completing the issues of job analysis, and I hope that these slides or these lectures will be of use to you, not only to get an understanding of what is job analysis, but also for your examinations. Since this online classes definitely are affecting our lives, but they are also doing the positive job, or allowing us to sit at home and take all the benefits of the class, right? So this is process of job analysis, step 4, information processing, job description, and job specification. Here we go. Now, job description. If you remember, I had told in the first lecture that Gary Dessler states is a list of jobs, duties, responsibilities, reporting relationships, working conditions, and supervisory responsibilities. This is job description, and it was a product of job analysis. Flippo has also defined job description, and he says a job description is an organized, factual statements of duties and responsibilities of specific job. So in brief, we can say that it should tell what is to be done now, how it is to be done, and why it is to be done. So it is a standard of function in that it defines the appropriate and authorized content of a job. So I think these definitions tell us that describing a job, basically, what is a job, what are the duties and responsibilities, whom are we going to report, what are going to be the working conditions, what are going to be the supervisory responsibilities, all these things come under the job description. So what all information will be contained in a job description? Let us see. A job description basically contains the following information, which is job title, code number, and department or division. Job contents in terms of activities or tasks performed. Job responsibilities towards effective performance of the job. Working conditions including specific hazards. Social environment prevailing at the workplace. Machines, tools, and equipments, extent of supervision given and received, relationship with other jobs, whether they are vertical, horizontal, or diagonal. Vertical is hierarchical, horizontal is within the same department, and diagonal relationships you can very well imagine, crisscross from one department to the other one on a hierarchical note. So, job description is basically when we say describing a thing. Description is not basically stating. Description itself says describing. So when you describe a job completely covering all aspects, then we can say that it has been described well. So this is what is required of a job description. It is essential, it is important, it is necessary that we understand that just this job description is to be studied in totality so that we can have a proper understanding of what kind of a job is there and what kind of a person is going to perform that job, so that we have the best of the people for our organization. Here we go. Now, what are the uses of job description? As stated by L.M. Prasad in his book, job description is used for those purposes for which job analysis is used, as discussed earlier, as the former is an outcome of the latter. To be more specific, I had discussed what is job analysis and what are the purposes for which it is being used. So, job description may be used in the following areas of human resource management. What are the areas? They can be job grading and job classification, providing a base for preparing job specification, because after describing a job, we'll be going on to preparing a job specification, which further leads to recruitment and selection. After recruiting and selecting the employees, what do we do with them? We go and take them and place them in their departments, in their organizations, in their offices, so that they feel comfortable. We socialize them. So, procurement and placement of employees. Once they are placed, we look for their training and development. We look for their career plans, how they are going to progress, how they are going to feel motivated to work for the organization. Are they going to be there at the same place for 5 years? No. They need to be promoted. They need to be given more compensation. They need to be given higher levels of career, so that they feel happy, excited, and they are satisfied on their job, and satisfied employees lead to profits. We need to look for their training and development, setting performance standards and appraisal. Job description helps you in this. Promotions and transfers, developing work procedures and processes, taking preventive measures to minimize the impact of hazardous conditions. Because once you know these are the kinds of hazardous conditions, you will always take measures. Employee counseling and vocational guidance. So, where all do we not need a job description? Do you understand? Just close your eyes and try to understand that this particular word, job description, is at the base of all the human resource activities that will be undertaken once a person is inducted inside the organization. It is important. Next slide. Now, this is a proforma for job description statement, which we have adapted from HRM by Praveen Durai. This will give you a fair idea of basically how do we write a job description statement. Like when you're going to practically do it, when you'll be on the job performing this kind of a task, what all do you have to do? So this is the kind of a proforma. So you can have a look at it. Here on the left hand side, we have stated job title, alternate title, job purpose, code number, job holder title, job location, job type, department office, reporting authority, number of staff members reporting to the post. And on the right side, we are describing what all do we have to write for that. Job title should reflect the duties and level of the job in the organization. Alternate title if you want to give. For example, you want to say manager. So it is reflecting the duties and the level in the job. Job purpose. Briefly mention the general purpose of the job and also its role in the objective accomplishment. What is the purpose of the manager? He'll be looking after the department and its activities, and also supervising the job of the deputy managers who are working under him. So this is briefly mentioning the general purpose of it is the general purpose of the job. I'm just giving you an example. Code number, state the job identification number, any number that your organization provides. Job holder title, specify the title of the job holder of this job. Then job location, mention the location of the job in the organizational structure. Job type, details like is it a full-time job or a part-time job. Department or office, mention the name of the department or office where the job is located, whether it is human resource management department, or it is the finance department, or it is the production, it is the sales department, whatever it is. Reporting authority, details of the job title to which this job should report. That needs to be provided here. And the number of staff members reporting to the post. Who all will be reporting to this kind of a job which you are reporting in this statement. So just imagine, These are small, but very, very important and essential ingredients in defining a job description statement. It is continuing, it's not yet over. So we go on to next, that is job summary. A brief description about the job is to be provided here. Job duties state the day-to-day tasks to be performed as part of this job and also provide the objective of each of these tasks. What all on day-to-day basis you have to do. This particular person who was stated as a manager and he was placed in a department, and what all has he to do every day, that has to be noted down. Authority limits provide details regarding the prior permission requirements for select decisions. Who does he seek permission from? Who has to take, he has to take permission from whom? Right? Who he has to report. So working conditions required, identify the nature of working conditions required for the job. Technical requirements, mention whether any technical specification is required. Does he have to know any specific technical details, like he might be computer savvy, he might have to know about say PowerPoint, Excel, or whatever it is. So you need to know whether he is good in Java, whether he is good in Tally software, whatever is required. Skills required for the job, state the minimum skills and competencies required for an effective performance of the job. Minimum skills and competencies, and experience required, whether you need a fresher or you need a person who has 3-4 years experience, or you need a person, say suppose you're you're writing a job description statement for a person who is, say suppose the general manager. So the minimum experience required that you are looking for maybe 10 years, 15 years. So you have to mention the minimum experience required here. Special circumstances, provide information about night shifts if there are any. Overtime, extensive traveling, people in the sales or marketing, they need to travel a lot. So such kinds of things have to be mentioned in the special circumstances, whether there will be extensive traveling, because when you want to see a work-life balance in the families of the employees, you need to mention certain things, like if the person has to travel and he has to travel outside and he has to be outside for say about 15 days in a month, so his family needs to know that this is the kind of job he'll be performing. So the person also has to know that I'll be outside, so that he can make his mind accordingly, right? So special requirements, specify the special tools and equipments required for the job if there are any. So this is about the pro forma of a job description statement, right? So I know it is very, very exhaustive, but once it is done, the rest of the tasks become simple and more accurate. So it seems it is very exhaustive, it seems it is very elaborate, but once it is done, as I told you, the things get simplified. We have the right kind of a description, we'll have the right kind of a person in the organization. That's it. So we go on to the next slide. Now this was about job description, and now we go on to the job specification. What is job specification? It is a list of job's human requirements. Now we were just describing the job that was non-living. What is the requirement of the job? What would be the designation? What would be the things required? Now here what we are doing is we are defining the human requirements for that job that we have just described, the pro forma that we have just seen. So a list of jobs human requirements, that is the education, the skills, personality and so on, are the job specification. So this is another product of job analysis. Now what Flippo says is job specification is a statement of the minimum acceptable human qualities necessary to perform a job properly. It is a standard of personnel and designates the qualities required for the acceptable performance. You can choose whatever definition you like. If you want to memorize it, you can choose any of these, or you can have another one from the text that you're reading. These are just illustrations to tell you that this is the kind of thing which is called job specification. So job specification is prepared on the basis of job description. This is very well evident, and it basically contains the following things: personal characteristics such as age, it is not ago, it is age, sex, education, job experience, and extra, or you can say the co-curricular activities which are required. Physical characteristics like height, weight, chest, vision, hearing, health, voice, hand and foot coordination. Now physical characteristics: How much of a vision? Well, I'm putting on spectacles. Maybe at places you don't need them. So you need to mention those things. Mental characteristics like general intelligence, memory, judgment, foresight. Foresight is looking in advance, looking into the future. Ability to concentrate. And the fourth one, social and psychological characteristics like emotional stabilities, flexibility, manners, initiative, drive, conversational ability, creativity. There are certain jobs where you need to, you need artists. You need people who can think, who can create. For example, in an advertising agency, you need people who can create. So there you'll need a person with the job description would be different, and the job specification would be a person who's creative. For a frontline manager or a person who is a customer care executive in a bank or an insurance company, you need a person who has manners, who is flexible, and who is ready to smile even when the customer is shouting at him. So for every job, there is different kind of a ability, there is a different skill which is required. If you are at the reception of a hotel, you need to be smiling even when the customer is not happy with you or the facilities or the things that you've provided at the hotel. You need to settle him down. You need to look into the problem that he's encountered, and you have to be very calm. You have to be very, very composed and talk to the person very sweetly so that his anger goes off, and then you're able to manage the problem and then deal with it and find out a compatible and nice solution for it. Right? So these are some of the qualities that a person might need. Sometimes you need some general intelligence, a memory or a foresight to see that this kind of a job or this kind of a situation might not work out properly. So for that kind, you need people who have good foresight, the ability to concentrate, people who are doing the job of some analysis. Say suppose an analyst's job, a job analyst, he needs to concentrate. A person who is good at data, managing data, understanding things, people who are good at collecting information, right? So you need to understand all these things, because a job specification means the human requirements of the job that we've just described. Before we came on to job specification, we wrote job description. Clear? Next, the difference between job description and job specification. So there are few differences, definitely there are. Job description is an elaborate statement that defines responsibilities and duties involved in a particular job, while job specification states educational qualifications and other requirements for performing the job. Second, job description defines jobs, while job specification describes job holders. Job description is for the non-living thing, job specification is for the living person. That is the difference. So job description contains designation, place of work, scope, working hours, responsibilities, reporting relationships, salary, etc. On the other hand, job specification contains educational qualifications, experience, skills, knowledge, age, etc. Now, job description is the outcome of job analysis, while job specification is based on job description. So this is step by step by step. It is not difficult. You just need to concentrate, focus. Once you have a fair idea, I don't think job analysis would be a problem for you. Not only for your exams, but also when you'll be performing it actually on your job. So I think I have been fair enough in explaining you. We go on to the next slide. A performer for job specification statement. This is for the job specification. Earlier we did for the job description. So here again, position title, department, office, educational qualifications and training requirements, experience, work-based skills and competencies required, behavioral skills and talents required, other attributes required. So here you have to write, say suppose position title, indicate the title and designation of the job holder, indicate where the job holder would be posted, educational qualifications, minimum numbers of years of experience, work related skills, identify the skills necessary for teamwork, effective leadership. There are places where you need good leaders who are able to lead with good heart, who are able to maintain their teams, who are able to motivate others, who are able to diagnose the problems. So mention these special qualities required for the performance of the job. Next slide. Thank you. This slide is very beautiful. Once you are just going through so many text materials, and then suddenly a thank you comes and we feel so excited and happy. Look at this lady, she's feeling so excited and thanking you. And I love these slides that have been prepared for me, and I hope that you also like them. And with this, we come to an end of explaining to you what is job analysis. We have taken 3 lectures on understanding this particular topic. I hope they'll be of use to you. After going through these lectures, you may read your textbooks, and then you'll be having a fair understanding of this topic, and I don't think you'll be finding a problem in taking your exams, right? So with this, I thank you, and please do subscribe my channel, do like it, do comment it, and do share it. So whatever it is, and you people know it better than me, right? Thank you.